You think heartbreak is something you've seen before? Forget it. What happened inside that courtroom wasn't just another celebrity breakup. It was a public detonation, a slow-motion implosion broadcast to millions who couldn't look away. It was betrayal stripped down, heartbreak weaponized, and justice served like a blade. From the moment Tamila Mann stepped through those heavy courtroom doors, you could feel the shift. The murmurs of reporters stilled, the clicking of cameras slowed, and every head turned to watch the gospel icon. No glam squad in tow, no designer parade, just raw, unshaken steel in her spine and a storm in her eyes. She didn't even need to speak for the tension to thicken. But when she did, the entire room changed forever. The judge had just read the ruling. Divorce finalized, marital assets split 70 cows like Sai, 30 in her favor, full custody of their children awarded to her. The air was already thick, but Tamila wasn't done. She stood, walked to the podium, and grabbed the mic with a grip so tight the bailiff almost flinched. Her voice, trembling not from weakness, but from fury, cut through the silence like glass shattering. "You didn't just take my husband," she said, staring directly at David. "You tried to take me with him. But I'm still standing, and you two are done." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Dr. Jackie, the once respected celebrity therapist, sat frozen just a few feet away, eyes darting, lips tight. She didn't dare speak. Tamila's words were like lightning, and every strike was finding its mark. "You smiled in my face while you crawled into my marriage like a snake," Tamila continued, each syllable sharp enough to draw blood. Cameras fired like rapid gunshots, and the hashtags began forming before she even stepped away from the podium. Do Justice for Tamila, Do David the Deceiver, Do Dr. Jackie Exposed. Within minutes, TikTok clips were racing toward millions of views. This wasn't just a divorce, this was a reckoning. And behind the headlines was a truth darker than the public had imagined. It started not with romantic whispers, but in the cold, sterile air of a therapy office. David had suggested counseling. Tamila, still clinging to hope, agreed. But instead of healing, those sessions became a back door for betrayal. Dr. Jackie began texting David privately. What began as emotional oversteps grew into secret lunches, hotel room meetings, and lies that doubled back on themselves until they were indistinguishable from the truth. Tamila stayed. For the children, for the image, for the faith, until the day she walked in on them in her own home. That discovery triggered a chain reaction, legal filings, media leaks, PR warfare. David's camp tried to paint it as a private matter, appealing for grace. Tamila chose the opposite. She went public, and the public chose her. And today, in that courtroom, her truth burned brighter than their excuses. Inside, David looked smaller than anyone had ever seen him. Once a man of the stage, beloved for his gospel voice and public devotion to family, now he sat hunched, sweating under the weight of evidence and public scorn. Dr. Jackie's polished image, TV appearances, relationship advice segments, was dissolving in real time. Then came the moment that shifted everything. The judge called a recess, but it was no pause for breath. Outside, the hallway erupted. Tamila's oldest daughter, Tia, caught on a hot mic, unleashed years of pain. "You didn't just betray Mom, you betrayed all of us." Reporters swarmed, security moved in, and the clips hit the internet before anyone could breathe. Back in session, the real bombshell dropped. Tamila's attorneys presented a newly obtained audio recording, captured inside Dr. Jackie's office during what should have been a marriage counseling session. The judge pressed play. David's voice filled the room, smooth but cold. "You know I can't leave her right now. It'll destroy my reputation. But what we have, Jackie, it's real. You make me feel alive. Tamila doesn't see me anymore." A wave of shock tore through the gallery. Tamila didn't blink. She'd lived this truth already. But hearing it aloud, with the whole world watching, was vindication. Dr. Jackie's hands twitched in her lap, her eyes giving away the panic she tried to hide. She knew someone close had betrayed her. The revelations kept coming. Financial records, wire transfers, secret trips, luxury hotel bookings, all under David's business account, timed perfectly with Dr. Jackie's schedule. Tamila's lawyer didn't hold back. This wasn't an affair. This was a calculated double life, funded and hidden for more than 2 years. David's face was pale, jaw tight. And then, Against his attorney's advice, he stood. "Your Honor," he began, voice cracking. "I never planned to hurt Tamila. I was lost. Jackie listened. She made me feel like I mattered. But I crossed lines. I betrayed vows." The courtroom waited, hanging on his paws. "I destroyed a good woman's trust. I don't deserve forgiveness. I only The room was already heavy with tension when David's attorney rose, her voice shaking just enough for everyone to notice. "Your Honor," she began, "we have one last piece of evidence, subpoenaed this morning from Dr. Jackie's clinic." David turned to her, his face a mask of dread. "Don't," he hissed, but the judge had already nodded. The bailiff took the envelope, slit it open, and handed the contents over. As the judge began to read, the temperature in the room seemed to drop. This wasn't just another affair reveal. This was a scandal that reached into criminal territory. Payments, over $300,000, drawn from the Mann Family Trust, authorized under Tamila's name, funneled directly into Dr. Jackie's clinic accounts. Tamila's gasp was audible, sharp as a gunshot. She hadn't just been betrayed in love, she'd been robbed. The crowd erupted into chaos. Security moved in as a cousin of Tamila lunged toward David, screaming. Outside, word spread instantly. "What man fraud, watch you Jackie money trail" shot up the trending charts. Dr. Jackie finally broke her silence. Standing with unsettling composure, she said, "I never meant to hurt Tamila. David promised me a future. He told me the money was his to give. Lies or truth, no one could tell, but the damage was irreversible." Tamila leaned toward her attorney, whispered, and within moments, her legal team moved to seize David's assets pending a criminal probe for embezzlement and identity fraud. The judge's face hardened. This wasn't just a divorce, it was a legal earthquake. David lashed out one last time. "She was never there for me, always touring, always performing. Jackie made me feel seen." The judge cut him off. "You were married, Mr. Mann. You violated that vow with someone your wife trusted. You prayed with this woman, called her your sister, and then you betrayed her in the worst way possible." The crowd's murmurs swelled. Tamila rose again, her voice trembling but strong enough to command the room. "I gave that man my youth, my heart, my everything, and he threw it away for lust and power. He used God's name to cover his sins. I will not protect him anymore." The courtroom erupted in applause, the gavel pounding for order. "I don't want another dime from him," she declared. "Seize what you must, but clear my name, and let every woman watching know you can rebuild after a man tries to break you." By now, even veteran reporters were visibly shaken. David sat deflated, stripped of every layer of charm. The judge finalized the decree. Tamila kept full control of assets, all joint properties redistributed, David's accounts frozen. Dr. Jackie was formally named a co-conspirator in breach of marital trust. The media frenzy outside was unlike anything the courthouse had ever seen. Fans cried. Protesters held prayer circles. Gospel radio hosts went live with emergency broadcasts on morality and accountability. But then came the aftershock. A video leaked, recorded by a former employee of Dr. Jackie. In it, she claimed David and Jackie had been involved for more than 3 years, that Jackie had been pregnant twice. One miscarriage, one abortion allegedly at David's request to protect his image. The revelation shattered what little remained of David's public standing. Pastors denounced him. Endorsements evaporated overnight. A Netflix special featuring the Manns was pulled before its release. The Gospel Awards, where they were to be honored, rescinded their invitations. Through it all, Tamila's rise was meteoric. That night, she went live on Instagram. No makeup, no stage lighting, just her, speaking straight to the lens. "I'm not perfect," she said, "but I'm free, and God is still good." Millions tuned in. Millions wept. Within 48 hours, it became the most watched gospel-related broadcast in YouTube history. David went silent. Dr. Jackie's clinic closed. Her medical license entered review. Tamila announced a new album, Unshakable, with a lead single, Lie No More. Its tagline, inspired by pain, driven by truth. It shot to #1 on iTunes in a week. This was no longer a story about a fallen marriage. It was about a woman who took betrayal and built a crown from its ashes. And yet, the story wasn't finished. Social media refused to let it rest. Hashtags like Tamila Strikes Back and David is Done dominated the feed. Receipts surfaced. Witnesses came forward. The people demanded apologies, justice, closure. David remained hidden, but whispers hinted he was preparing his own version of the story. Dr. Jackie was reportedly negotiating an interview, but with her reputation in tatters, no network dared host her. Tamila, meanwhile, moved forward with her life, recording, performing, healing. Her public image transformed from gospel royalty to living proof that resilience was not just a word, but a force. Still, every time a new leak hit the internet, the wound reopened for the public. A documentary crew announced they were piecing together the full story, promising to expose everything they tried to.